love like this.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another beautiful episode of Love Like This, the before, during, and after of falling in love. I'm your humble, kind host, and I'm gonna let y'all know right now, you will not be hearing my co-host on this episode. I have officially fired Jamila from this love cast. It'll just be me. You'll be hearing me and my love stories from now on. So, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. I had a very beautiful idea. I hope it's beautiful, to take this month's episode in a different direction and actually talk to other men about love. A lot of my ideas, my friend is here. A lot of my ideas, friend, is mostly like what I do, as in like my experiences, or what I'm curious about. So I was really curious about what it's like for men growing up and how they experience love through those ages, through toddler, through teenage years, and through their young adult years. So I really just want to bring in some friends and some good people that I know and just really talk to some men about love in their life and how it was growing up for them. And today, my very first guest today is my good friend, Jake, the shaman, who I met through Milah. And if you've heard Good Moms, Bad Choices, they talk about a shaman who basically gave them some ritualistic advice in order to, I guess, have success in their podcasting ventures. Am I right?
And they've been booming ever since.
My friend Jake, just shaman, please. Can you introduce? I'm terrible at doing intros. Can you introduce yourself and what you're doing out here in LA?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jake, also known as Jake V. Preizt. I'm a spiritualist and a mystic more so than a shaman. Mm-hmm. But I am Native American. My family is Six Nations, Haudenosaunee. So shaman is very applicable, especially because I'm initiated. But I'm in LA because by career, I'm in fashion. Mm-hmm. I work in corporate fashion. I launch brands. I build e-commerce brands. If you got a dope streetwear line and you got inventory, you can send me a message. I can scale your brand. I can get you into back doors, into retailers, into Macy's, into Saks, wherever you want to be. And so, yeah, like I work in corporate fashion. I was a designer by chance. Mm-hmm. Always been into style. And
I can tell.
Just through working in corporate, I've, expanded my deck. Now my portfolio expands to production management, tech design, and I've done several partnerships this year with leading tech and fashion firms that I'm working on.
No, so, my God, I did not know that much about you. And it's funny because before you started, we were going to talk about love, obviously. And you said, have we ever talked about love? And I was like, we've talked about a lot of things. But I feel like every time I speak to you, I am learning a little bit more.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, somehow over the years, I have learned to be more observant, silent. But there was a point in time that I used to be very loud and talkative. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what took over me where I just chose to be, like, more silent and let people, like, get to know me versus being boisterous and, like, I'm the fashion nigga, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But I feel like now is just time that, like, I use my voice.
Yeah. Well, you're around people that lose their voice, too, because
everybody I know use their voice. Literally.
I love chat. You're Native American?
I'm Native American.
I did not know you were Native American.
Yes.
Which part of you where in your family is Native American?
My family is Six Nations, and that is the Confederacy of the Iroquois.
Nice.
So their tribal lands are in upstate New York, Canada, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about my tribe is that it was used to form the Constitution of the U.S.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, they modeled the Declaration of Independence after the Iroquois Confederacy.
Huh. Okay, we're going to get... I want to get into the ancestral part, but I feel like that'll be a whole nother conversation, so I want to keep this one on focus.
Yes.
You're Native American. You have Native American background. Does the Native American background help you get into the spiritual side or the spirituality part of life and like learn more about that?
No, the spirituality aspect is fluent on every aspect of my genetic makeup. Literally on my black, on my African side, on my Native American side, and even on my European side. because I come from a mixed bloodline, and so yeah.
So with all of these mixtures, what was it like growing up? Did you grow up with both parents, one parent? Like, how was it?
Ooh, so I grew up very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey originally,
Mm-hmm.
and I grew up with both parents. Both of my parents are still married.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was very interesting. What made my childhood more, it wasn't white picket fence, perfect life. My father, was very urban. He, we come from the 80s hustlers.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like my father was involved in a lot of different interesting worlds.
Yeah.
And I used to see it firsthand. Like, my father didn't believe in hiding anything from us. So, I was taking trips to Philadelphia and New York City.
You was going on runs with your dad.
14-year-old. And we had mink coats and we had go-karts. And, yeah, like, people always looked at us like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
But over the time, my father got his life together. He ended up becoming a drug counselor, and he's been one for like 10, 15 years.
Oh, nice. So with all this running around and like all the shenanigans that's bringing in the fur coats, what was
how I got into fashion.
It all starts making sense. You keep
Yeah,
asking
so
the right
my
questions.
grandmother, interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle Lenny, God rest his dead, he was a very colorful gay man based out of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle Lenny used to run an illegal boutique out of his brownstone in Philly in the hood.
Fire.
On Jefferson and Master.
Fire.
In North Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And so the entire family and the whole hood, and even the mafiosos and like the Italian mob would come to him for pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And we talking about like they was killing Boyd's and Bloomingdale's and Saks back in the day. We talk about like $30,000 to $50,000 furs people was getting from him. And so my grandmother used to walk around the house in a $50,000 sable coat.
Like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing. With a beautiful updo, like very Marilyn Monroe-esque. My grandmother, she used to walk around the house in these lavish outfits and these beautiful 70 print dresses. And I saw that since I was a kid because I used to be like up under her. She was also a teller in the casinos because I'm from Atlantic City.
Yeah.
As well as one of my uncles was a mason and a tailor as well. And so the fashion thing just was in the family. It's in the bloodline. I believe it honestly goes way back. When I go to my ancestors, one of my ancestors was a freeman of color, and he had a shoe business. And so just all of that combined, seeing that was like opened my eye to it.
Yeah.
Like I knew about things that I shouldn't have known about, things that I couldn't even afford when I was 12.
Yeah. But you had accessibility to it and information and knowledge of.
Oh yeah, I was touching, I was feeling, I was wearing garments. I probably got my first mink coat at like 12.
So you had both your parents, you had your grandmother around, you had your uncle around. So
my grandmother passed when I was 11.
Okay, but for the most part, you had family around you.
Oh yeah, a nice family.
So then, what was love and like marriage and like that kind of aspect life in the household for you growing up?
Okay, so my father, when I was in my fundamental years, he was in the streets, going in and out of, the justice system. But by the time I was, let's say, 11th grade, he got his life together. And so in my fundamental years, my mother, I just happened to be more close to my mother.
Yeah.
Because, like, my mom would work 3 jobs. She has her master's degree. She was preparing to become a teacher when I was a kid. She's been a teacher for 20 years now.
Fire, congrats.
Yeah, and just like she ran the household for the most part, because my mother's a Leo and my father's a Cancer. And so like
she run things, he'll come and be like, hey,
their marriage relationship, she carries it. She's always carried it. My father is kind of like, his version of running things is on his way. And my mother is like she's the lion.
Yeah.
In a soft way. The whole town loves her. Everybody loves her. My mother is super enjoyable, like she is love. She is the essence of it. It exudes from her heart. And so like I've seen that And my dad is more tough love.
Yeah.
Like, he has a love from, like, a crab almost.
No, yeah.
Like,
once it's hard to get through, but when you get there,
he could talk. He'll talk your ears off, and that's his way of, like, expressing love. I want to make sure I talk about my dad.
Yeah, please.
He's finicky when I talk about him, that it comes out properly and not, like, in a harsh way.
No, I get it.
So I hope I'm sounding that way.
I mean, we're coming from, like, you know, our parents and grandparents and things like that are coming from a different time. So I wholeheartedly understand I'm going to keep you at a distance until you're in, and then I can, like, warm up and soften up to you. Like, the crab analogy was perfect for a lot of our dads.
Yeah. And so, like, my dad loved my mom. Like, no matter what they went through, we done seen raids on the house.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
She was ride or dying, though. So,
yo, my mother is, like,
the
definition of a ride or die. And low-key, like, it's in me because I seen that. Like, when I get into relationships, I'm that way because that's what I saw.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's made it hard to date in a metro city like both New York and LA, because, like, I know love. My parents have poured love into me since I was a kid. I still have both parents. I still call my parents 3-4 times a week. Well, I'm ODing.
You get
every other week or so, check in, and when I hang up the phone, I love you.
Well, you talk to your parents like 100 times more often than I talk to mine. So, like, and there are a lot of people who have stories where they don't actually tell their parents as often. So 3 or 4 times a week, bi-weekly, that is still significantly high for the most part. So I commend you for that.
And low key, like, it's funny. Like, my father is big on, like, making him proud. Like, he doesn't outwardly say it, but I know he feels that way. And so I feel like, especially at the age that I am now, like, I'm hustling to eventually make my family proud, because they gave a lot for me to live in LA.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the only person I know. I don't have any family here within 2,000 miles radius. I've never had a family member to be able to turn to. It's always been my mom, my dad, my sister.
Yeah.
And so, like, they have expressed love to me in many different ways my entire life.
I mean, that's a double-edged sort of, like, you know, being loved as a child, because then when you grow up, you know, people can't bullshit you with their bullshit love.
Oh,
like,
of
so
course.
dating is just like, it's a struggle in a good way.
It's hard because, like, we're in the era of, you know, the toxic social media era. Everybody is dating in a way that they read Justin LeBoy's posts. Yeah. And that ain't real life.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that because I had real love when I lived in New York before I moved to LA. What made me, why I live in LA right now is because I had a lover for 6 years. And so, like, it was fucking beautiful. It was like the rights of my parents' relationship plus a newfound freedom and a newfound way of forming a relationship. Just like how you and Milah, when you guys came together, you guys formed your own relationship. I like this. I don't like that. We gonna do this. We gonna have fun.
Facts.
I had a relationship the same exact way for 6.5 years. And then we was friends for 2 years and even lived together as friends for 2 years after we broke up. We never even had a broke up. And so, like, it was literally love at first sight. Damn, what else I was talking about?
No, I'm just letting you flow and explain your love. And we were talking about how dating is hard because you actually know love. And
okay, so it was really hard for me because after I was in a relationship for 6 years, in my fundamental fashion career years, I'm in a relationship. And low-key, like, I almost quit the industry because of a bad, like, Devil Wears Prada type of boss one year. Yeah. And my lover convinced me to just have at it, to keep going. I literally, like, left fashion, started working in hotels and hotel management. I was an executive assistant for 3 doctors at a cancer hospital. And he was like, "You're not happy." Like, he was like, "You also, like, you're a creative. You need to create." And, like, eventually, like, after a year and a half, he was like, "Just make me something." Yeah. And one day when he said that, one day I just got up and made him something, and I just discovered my passion. And so, backstory, I'm very spiritual. My lover was very spiritual. Like, when I say spiritual, I'm not talking about, like, oh, I eat wellness products and my third eye is open. I'm talking about, like, he could walk into a room and the whole room would bend to his energy, or like he healed people without touching them, or like God would literally speak to him like a prophet.
Yeah.
But he wasn't involved in the mystic traditions like I am.
Yeah.
Because I actively work spirituality. I've been involved in Santeria. I'm initiated in Haitian voodoo. And so like it was the emergence of two gods, essentially.
Yeah.
When we was in a relationship together. And it was very interesting. Like I could read his mind, he could read mine. It was like, you know, it was truly the definition of, because he was a New Yorker just like you. Like the same accent, the same swag, all of that. And so it was very much like you got my back and I got yours. And ain't nobody or nothing gonna get in between it. And like when you have a relationship like that, where every day somebody is telling you, I love you. I hope you go out to the world, kill it. I'm praying for you. You got, that job is yours because you with me. Like when you got somebody like that under your wing, it's very much hard to go out into the dating world and deal with these nigglets who think it's cool to sit up in your face, smile, or try to have sex with you, steal your energy, and then put you on Do Not Disturb for 3 weeks.
Now, when I got fucking 2 parents that are still married, how dare you?
Facts.
Oh, shit.
Stuff like that gets me tight, but that's literally like what you go through in the dating world. Like you can meet somebody and they think, because you got a profile, they see your Instagram that they know you. Yo, like I'm the type of person you would never know me. It might take you 7 years to figure me out, because I'm literally giving you pieces of what God is telling me to give you. And until you ready, you're not going to get the whole.
That is actually fire, because you need really good examples around you of what love is like. Because if you don't, you would really accept anything. And that 6 years of amazing love can really easily turn into 6 years of just like wasting your fucking time with a person if you don't know what a standard of love looks like. Was that person like would you say your first love? Or you say you found like love before that?
I would say my first love outside of myself.
Talk about it.
Yes, definitely my first love. And you know what's crazy? It took me years to like get over that. Like every time I would meet a person, I would compare the new person to them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even allow people in because of that, because I knew how great of a person they were. And so I was single for some time when I first moved to LA, and then I lived in Miami and I was single again, and I was dating, and I had all these like small 6-month, I'm looking up at the camera again.
I know. Your camera, listen, you can look at that camera as much as you want. That's all you.
I had all of these small like, you know, dates, like, you know, we would be getting to know each other for 3 to 6 months, 8 months, a year, but nothing was like memorable. Like low key, like it's all a blur. I don't remember any of them. But if you ask me about love, like I remember my dude, my guy. Yeah. Because like it was real. Like I knew it. I knew nobody wasn't cheating. We never even had an argument. Do you know how hard it is for 2 people that is in a relationship not to argue? Especially if we live together. we share every fucking thing. And so do you know how hard it is for 2 men and women not to fight, let alone 2 men? When you dealing with 2 men, the energy is so strong, like that it's easily to be either extremely inundated in the love energy or extremely overwhelmed with hate. And very quickly.
And the way that you're explaining this person with the energy so strong, I could just see like 2 lions in the same pride.
But
like,
2 lions who meshed.
Yeah.
Who balanced each other. He was a little bit older than me. And so, like, I don't know, like, I enjoyed it. But he looked much younger than me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, that was my dog. Like, you know, shout out to E, wherever he is in the world. I haven't spoken to him in a few years, but.
Would you say this is also probably, like, your first heartbreak or one of your biggest ones?
I mean, thank God, like, it was heartbreak because we didn't have a real reason why we broke up. And so that was heartbreaking. Like, it would be easy to say, like, yo, this person cheated on me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I hope you die, bitch, whatever. I'm from New York. You can tell. I hope my language is okay.
You're perfect. You're perfect.
And so when you ain't got that, it's even harder. Because now you're looking at like I was covered in the world. I had a force with me. But what I realized was it was necessary for that force to leave for me to be the Jake that you are talking to now. Because back then, I was not the same person. I wasn't as deep into the spiritual world as I am now. Yeah. I didn't even own my power in the same way as I was just inching my way into it. When that relationship started, and by the end of the relationship, I was knee deep into my power. But I fully collected myself. Once I stepped foot on Los Angeles soil, I don't know how, I fully realized who I was. I fully stepped into my manhood. I became a no joke New Yorker in a city of angels.
Yeah.
And it was an extension of that relationship, but I think I needed to find myself again.
Was it like a kind of like a gotta let your hand go?
Yeah. It was gotta let my hand go. It was, you need to do this for your career. I need to do this. He was going into a new career. His dad left him a house. His mother passed away. It was all kinds of stuff going on in his world. Yeah. That was the reason why, we need to go to another level. We need to just be friends.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
that's hard. I think that sometimes we sit here and think that the pain from a heartbreak is so damaging when you can point a blame towards something like, hey, you argue too much, you complain too much cheating. But when
you ain't got nothing to point a blame to, it's even worse. Especially when you start dealing with these fuckboys or just the random situations that go on with dating.
What if starts coming in, the lingering
what
thought
if I would have stayed? What if I went back? All of that stuff has went through my mind a million times, especially after you meet somebody that play in your face.
Did you talk to your parents after the separation from your 6-year relationship, or did you just?
So I introduced them to my parents, and my parents, we was all cool. So I guess they knew what was going on, but it was a whirlwind for me because it wasn't like I was sitting in the house doting. When I was leaving that relationship, I had just got fired from a random hotel management job in New York City. I used to work at one of the nice hotels there, and I used my severance to start traveling. Yeah. And so something told me, I was working heavily within the Native American tribes.
Nice.
I was going to sweat lodges every weekend in Woodstock, New York, from New York City. We was traveling to Sundance festivals in the summertime. We would even do road trips out there. And so at the time, one of my uncles in the tribe, he was like, when I say uncle, I mean one of those kind of uncles.
Yeah.
Chino. He was basically a medicine man. He was like, something is telling me for you to go travel the world, and Belize is the place I see. He was like, believe it or not, I've been there. And it was one of the most friendly, most beautiful places I've been. Now, this is in 2015. And so I listened to him. The flight was like $300.
Nice.
It was dirt cheap.
Fire.
Belize was beautiful as hell.
It is.
It was stunning. The food was amazing. People were super friendly. Literally, hitchhiking is normal in Belize.
Oh, nice. Oh, that friendly. Okay.
Yeah. I remember hitchhiking from Belize City all the way down to Punta Gorda, which is going from San Francisco down to the border where Tijuana is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's because on the border of down there in the jungles is the tribes, the Mayan civilizations. The Garifuna have their own place in Belize. And then you have Honduras below it. You could take a ferry right over to Honduras. And to the right of it, you have Guatemala, which is Tikal. And so, I did all of that. I was there for a month and a half, 2 months, chilling. Fire. And I met someone from California. I met a girl. And she, was hanging out with me. And I think she was studying marine biology. I cannot begin to tell you why this girl just influenced me so much. But she started talking about Cali, and I was like, I'm moving there.
That's where it's going to be.
I didn't go back home. I went. I had the suitcase with me traveling for 2 months.
Yeah.
I went to L.A. afterwards. I switched my flight somehow. I think I missed the flight and then had them transfer me to L.A. And how I got myself established here was it's weird how my life story is crazy. So a year before that, I was working with the Native American tribes, and there was the Million Man March. We escorted, like Louis Farrakhan and all of them was there. So we was escorting them up onto the podium. And I don't even know like how I met some of these people, but one of them was this brother named Art. And Art had a nice crib in East LA here. And he had like 3 cars, and he told me, yo, if you ever come to LA, take my number. Because like I got you.
Fire.
And you know, like people normally say that and don't mean it.
Yeah.
Something told me. I got off the flight here, and I called Art. I had not spoken to this man in 8 months. He picked up the phone. He knew exactly who I was, and he was like, yo, I got a place for you, and you can use my car to hustle. And so, like, God was literally leading my path here. And so, another thing, I got an uncle who is a prophet, who's my dad's half-brother, whom I never met. He told my parents years ago, when your son moves to LA, he is going to be very successful.
Okay. All right. So it's the time.
So, you know, it was my first love. He kind of like put the bug in my ear with you should go to LA. You should do this. You should get back into fashion, open up your own brand. Because I was hitting a railroad in New York. I was only being hired by brands that I didn't want to work for. Like at the time, it was just like Macy's, Chico's, Coach before they was redone, stuff like that. But I always wanted to work high fashion, and when I would go to work at these like smaller companies that was just producing mass apparel, they just would challenge me in a way that was toxic. Like they was not appreciating my creativity. And so I knew that I needed to, if I was going to try to work in the industry, it needed to be in a new place like LA where streetwear was booming. I'm from the streets. I lived in Harlem for 10 years.
You get it.
I get it. And so I am streetwear culture. And so as a man who designs streetwear, LA is
perfect. And then
perfect for
you
me.
got to do something you love. And it really seems like not only in dating, but also in life, knowing what love feels like and knowing like what that feeling feels like. Even in your career, you have to go somewhere that you feel positive about, where you feel love and where you feel passionate about, because you know what. It's easy for you to feel the discomfort in things when you know that it's not for that it's not for you. So it just really seems like the person that love you is pushing you to LA into fashion. Your career itself is pushing you towards doing something that you love and you enjoy. And it just seems like love is just engulfed in your life, and it started off with your parents.
It started off with my parents, and then it translated into that relationship. And now you know what's funny is like I'm not in love, but it exudes from me.
Yeah.
So like this is the challenge that I have. I am love. I'm a Virgo. We are the lovers of the sign. It is very easy for me to love someone. It's harder because society, especially being a spiritual man, like I can feel people's souls. I can read energy. I can also share minds by choice very strongly. Like I can engulf someone in my energy if need be. And so, and I can send my energy out across the U.S. To help people if I need to. That's how I'm trained as a spiritualist, as a shaman. And so when I meet people, like let's say I'm dating or you know, just even expressing, hanging out, interest, it's very easy for me to see the good in a person. To be optimistic and express my love, open up my heart. It has challenged me in the 6 or 7 years since my relationship because the way our culture tells you to be a man and to date people, you can't express love, you can't show your feelings, you can't call a person too much, you can't say good morning too much, you got to act like you disinterested. Like, who the fuck want to play them games?
Nobody.
I'm from New York, bro. Like,
nobody.
What's up?
Yeah,
do you
let me know what's up. Yeah,
or do you not? Do you want love? Are you ready to heal? Are you ready to grow? Can you receive me?
This world nowadays is lacking a sense of straightforwardness that we used to have back in the days, or maybe just
it used to be
in New York.
Super like that is a New York thing.
Straightforward.
Have to be like it took me years to realize like my relationship was the way it was because we was in New York. And like, I lived in Miami, I lived in Atlanta, I lived in LA.
Yep.
And none of those places are the people the same.
Exactly.
Like, everybody want to be outside 24/7. Cool. Like, the way I see my parents locked in a relationship, it's not about being outside. It's about being together. And like, most people don't even have a concept of together because if you go back to the root of a lot of people's issues, they have never seen love. Some people have never seen a household with two parents. And so I have had to like dumb my energy down.
Yeah.
And even like how I know a relationship is supposed to flow, even from the start to the end, to even like date properly. Like for me, I had a relationship like where the first day we met each other, we knew it was magic here. Yeah. We knew it was love. We didn't talk about it for a few weeks, whatever the case may be, but we knew it was something like, yo, some shit. Like literally, like I remember meeting them and it rained all around us except on top of it.
It just feels like one of those days. Yeah,
it was really magical. Like it was magical shit happening. I was fighting for a new job in fashion at the time when we met. I wasn't getting no interviews for 6 months straight. It was around my birthday time. We talking about approaching September, which is harvest season. If you want to talk about the way the seasons flow. Immediately upon meeting my dude, in 3 days, I had a new job.
Fire.
Which was crazy. Like, I was shocked. And, like, you could see the universe just opening up. Yeah. And so, when you know that, and you know what's interesting? I have felt the potential for that feeling upon meeting certain people. Let's say it happens 2 or 3 times a year. Most of the time, the other person was cheated on. Yeah. It was messed over. They just want friends. They want to have a good time. They just don't be ready. Yeah. And at this point, like, I just accept it. But in the same token, like, I know what I'm worth. I know how to love, and I know, like, this ain't going to work, or maybe I should stick around, or you know what I mean? But, yeah, it's been, like, a series of that. And so, like, I'm always very in tune with just, like, you know, should I put up a wall or should I, you know, just be myself? Because if I just be myself, like, I don't need to wait freaking, like, a lot of people play games with dating now. Yeah. And so.
The dating game.
The dating game, literally. And so some people don't prioritize it at all. Like, they you could be in somebody's phone for 3-4 months and just like, hey, what's up? I do it now. Yeah. Because I'm just used to, like, how people deal with each other here. But I always know, like, when I recognize that energy,
you know,
like, I could easily just shift back into, like,
when somebody's on the same type of time.
Okay, like, this is bae, I love you, I fuck with you, you mines, let's get it, let's take on the world together, let's go get houses, let's get businesses. Like, that's the type of time I'm on. That's what I want. Like, fuck all the bullshit. Forget everything, all the games. You can keep all of that. Like, my eyes get excited when I think, like, life stability, like hustling together. I'm
gonna be fed at the end of the night. the real things in life.
So, like, that's part of the reason why I love y'all. Yeah, because, like, I see it with y'all. Like, I could feel the magic between y'all.
Oh, thank you, Fred.
And you know, like, I think in talking about this love topic, you have to talk about, like, brotherhood too. Okay, because since I had a relationship with a nigga, and, like, I would consider myself bisexual, by the way. It's funny, it's like, because of the way I was loved, I feel like I'm giving this bisexual part of my life maybe 2-3 more years. And if it don't work, if I'm not in a relationship, then I'm pretty much planning to be done with it. Because
so which way are you going to lean towards?
Towards women.
Oh, shit.
I think it's easier.
Oh, shit. My boy's coming back around to the team.
I could have been had a wife. I could have been had a fucking crazy crib with my girl. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah, if you want to settle down, women are the way to go.
Yeah,
if you want to still,
it's not with, like, I don't got time. Like, the things that I want to do in my life requires stability. It requires a partner. Yeah. It requires you to be completely single and celibate and locked in and just that's a lot harder than it's life gets easier when you have the right partner. Most people, men and women, like the young generation, the social media generation, they don't understand that. They think having a person is for sex, for using for money, to be your trick, and then send them on their way.
Which is crazy.
But like, I seen relationships that's like, yo, I need you. Like, you help me be a better person. You make me into a better person.
You've elevated me to a certain level, and I can't operate at
Facts.
this level without you being in my life.
Bro, I grew 5 lifetimes with my partner.
Oh, of course.
5.
Oh,
like,
of course.
The person you are talking to, you are meeting today, would not even be here if I didn't go through those stages with them.
Facts. And I think about it right now. If it's never going to happen, but if Mila's ever not in my life, I can never maintain or be at this level ever again. So, well, you are dating, and you're saying that, eventually you're going to go the straight route if it all don't work out. So what's your views on, like, marriage?
I'm still attracted to women, and I still get very much turned on to women. And even, like, on the low, like, a part of my relationships with the type of person I would be with, there's usually sometimes a girl gets involved.
Oh, fire.
And so, yeah, like, it would just be natural.
Yeah. So, well, what is your views on, like, marriage for yourself, or in the future?
So it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
The institution called marriage.
Talk about it.
Because I've seen it.
Wait, are we going to split up marriage between the spiritual part of marriage and
we
like
about
the
to say
institutional
what I
government
think
part of
about
marriage?
it.
Okay, good.
What I believe about marriage is I don't care for the outside worlds. It's because of how my relationship was. Like, we had a relationship where it was like, it's you and me against the world. When you think like that, the world does not matter.
True.
And so, like, I don't see big, crazy weddings, none of that. The only thing I see when it comes to marriage is us having paperwork in case something happened to one of us, that we protect ourselves, that, wills and trust and all of that is there. But, like, what's funny is I'm a very, like, I can see things. Yeah. With marriage, I just never, it's a blur in, like, a ceremonial way. Yeah. But for me, like, the energy of marriage and, like, actually having some paperwork to back up maybe a marriage certificate is more appropriate for my mindset. Because to me, like, when we locked in, we locked in.
Yeah. I, at one point, I knew I always wanted to be married, but, I've come to realize, and which is why I want to talk to men about this, have these conversations with men, is because I'm seeing that love and how we grew up and how we view love is all pretty different. And then for me, what I viewed marriage as was more of like the lifetime commitment. Like, if you're doing this, this means I'm committed to you for the rest of my life, and I'm committed to whatever agreement we have or how we're going to operate together in a relationship. So what has in the most basic form, if we're looking at marriage like that, what is your views on, like, a lifetime commitment, or like how does that form or structure look for you?
As far as a lifetime commitment, for me, as a man who deals with men, I see so many people I know single, like so many successful, wealthy, beautiful people, people that got everything except love. Yep. And so I absolutely refuse to be single over 45. Refuse. It's not me. I rebuke that life. And so to have a lifetime commitment, you really got to have fun with somebody. You got to be able to say, you got to be able to be with each other, but also have a level of flexibility that sometimes, like, your eyes may wander. Yeah. Or sometimes you might want to play. Like, there needs to be some level of that in a relationship, just to keep things spicy, to keep things, to keep you yearning for a person.
Well, definitely, and in the sense that you're speaking more in a sexual way, and it really depends on, like, what the desires of the relationship are. But there's even times where I could think of, like, just whatever boundaries, like, hey, I'm never a person, not me specifically, but saying I'm never a person that likes to wash dishes, but you know what? I might push that little boundary and wash them dishes maybe more times out of the week than you. And just like if it was a sexual boundary, maybe I might do a little bit more, or maybe I might want to, like, explore in different ways and other things that I might not be initially into. because I have this partner. I'm just like spitballing like
It's
things.
literally that. When I was in a relationship, like I barely. Now I just meal prep for myself, but I'm not like, I don't cook like you. If y'all don't know, Orlando could cook his ass off. I tell him every time to open up a restaurant because his food is, he got some of the best Caribbean, Jamaican, and soul food in LA. You can't even buy this at even the nicest restaurant that just opened up here. I mean, what are you waiting for, my brother? But I used to cook in a relationship. He would prep, I would cook.
Nice.
Something I don't do for anybody.
Yeah.
But I used to love doing it for them and myself. Like, it's nothing like coming home to a home cooked meal, especially one prepared by somebody that loves you. It is. It's the energy, even the way. So he used to clean the house. I would do my part, but he was the way the energy when somebody who loves you cleans a house. I used to hire like cleaning ladies, and I would go through a bunch of them until I found someone who put that level of basically like high Reiki energy into my space.
They used to put music on when they used to clean.
It would just be certain people. Certain people have a gift.
No, I'm talking about your ex. He used to put
music singing,
oh yeah, love it,
praying,
love it.
everything,
love
and
it.
just like he had fire energy. Like he would be around celebrities, and they would be like,
"Who are you?"
Yeah, like,
yeah.
That's how his energy was very high.
Okay. So I have a question. Now that we're at this point in life where we've had love in the household, which translated into having a relationship, adult relationship, and love in that relationship, and maneuvering through life and having your journey to being here now, where you also love what you do within your job in fashion. With all this information now, how would you define love?
With all this information, how would I define love? I think, first of all, I got to put this out there one last time. I'm a big Virgo. And so, to me, love is everything. Like, love is your ultimate purpose for being on this planet. And it's not just to know love as a partner. Yeah. It's to know love in the universe. Love from my brothers like you, my sisters, my friends, my extended family, my actual family. And know what is not love. And know when you have it and when you don't. I think love is a frequency and a freaking level of attaining. It's a measure of success in life in some ways. And when you have love, it's easier to manifest every other thing you want. Milah and Erica speak all the time on group manifestation. What is love? It would be the same thing. It's no different.
That is okay.
Yeah, like y'all, when you have love, a person who cares for you, everything y'all dream of, you put energy and action and execution towards making it happen. And it actually makes you hone in on those things more. Yeah. Now, when you have lust and twin flames and these crazy, chaotic type of situations, it's sometimes delusions can make you unaware that that's not always love. Sometimes it's extreme versions of low-level passions that you see as love because you haven't been taught what true love is.
I am 100% following you now because I like to make...
Oh, because I seen them too.
Yeah.
I seen them after having real love.
I like to make realistic definition and justifications behind like spiritual things. So I always viewed manifestation, as you said, as like wanting something so bad, saying it to your body, and your body responding as honing in on that thing. So you might, let's say you want a certain car, you'll start seeing that car in the street more, you start seeing a billboard, like your mind will start focusing and picking up on all of these things. When you are doing that with someone else that you also love, you are picking up on it 1,000 times even more. like you're so honed in and so focused, and that love and that ambition that's driving and that force that's pushing behind you makes whatever you're manifesting come faster, come heavier, come better. This sounds very sexual, but but the two things that really are a big driving force for your manifestations is love and doing it with somebody, and sexual energy. And so that's why I'm saying that I'm following you with what you're saying, because yeah, me and Mila, we manifest things and we want things for our future, and they do happen for us. And I knew, like, hey, you know, once I have my person, I got my girl, I could do anything. But the explanation that you just put of when you manifest with somebody and you have that love driving for you, it makes you hone in and focus more.
It can.
That's it.
Some people
resonates
get
with me.
so, like, okay, so we talking about power dynamics in a relationship.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship where one person has more the power than the other, typically everybody got power dynamics in a relationship. If you're the person with the less pull, the less magnetism, the less power in a relationship, it's possible for you to become lustful and like envious and you know, experience different emotions connected to your partner. And so sometimes you have to watch that, because that's when it borderlines when it's not love. But when it's love,
well, that's a good thing about why you should also push towards having a healthy love, why you should know what love is, why it's important to have a healthy and happy and loving household, so that you can grow into a relationship that is also loving, and you know to stay away from the fuck shit. And so with that, that's why it's good to work towards a love that and a relationship that's healthy, because then your manifestations are even stronger.
absolutely,
There we go, player.
100,000%.
Well, you seem to be very versed in love. With all this love that you have and this love that you embody, how do you treat others with that love?
I try to treat others with respect. You know, there's a double-edged sword.
That's a good sentence. I try to treat these people with respect,
there's a double-edged sword to me being a big Virgo. We are petty. We don't play. If you play in my face, I am playing in yours like you are a New York rat. I am not playing with you. I cannot help it. It's inside of me. The Chango energy is strong here. If you cut me, I'm slicing your head off. So please don't play on my watch. That goes for business. That goes for work. That goes for whatever. I show up as the dream perfect person. What you want, if you even have the slightest affinity, if you need what I provide, I'm there for you. But it's only as much as you are going to reciprocate it to me. If it is not there, that's when it can get like, okay,
dicey.
This is a problem. I think, you know, me being more mature now, and just through going through years of therapy and counseling, I've learned to just walk away, or
how to navigate these spaces.
How to navigate. I learned to just like walk away and navigate like these spaces more, because like I have too big of a purpose, and I didn't really like know it when I was 15 years ago, but I know it now. Like, I know what I came here to do, who I am. And when you know that, when you meet people who figuring it out, don't know it, it's okay to walk away. Yeah, like I used to meet somebody like that I thought would be another E, my former lover, would thought be like the next level, and be like wanting to pour into them, and then be like upset when it wasn't given back, or upset that I didn't pay attention to the red flags, or that I allowed myself to be delusional. And so, fun fact about me is that I am a water shaman. I'm a spiritualist of the water. I'm heavily connected to the water. Because of that, being a water sign or being connected to the water can make you extremely delusional. The delusions are necessary when you're extreme creative like me.
Them water signs are delusional.
Literally. And so the delusions are helpful when you're forecasting, when you're thinking of things that need to manifest years
when
before
you're creating
they need to
and imagining,
come down and like executing them, when you're working on inventions and things. But the delusions get in the way when you start trying to date people. And so, you know, over the years I've learned like, okay, this might be a little bit more me feeling this or wanting this than what I'm actually seeing.
Yeah.
And you know the signs right away. Like, the funny thing is, like, I could think about how my ex used to treat me or, like, how it was from day one.
Yeah.
And I would know automatically, like, man, I should walk away. This person ain't gonna give me what the fuck I want. This is a waste of my fucking time. Let me focus on work.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, to me, like, I have been, like, looking for the right partner because I want to do mad shit in my career. And I just think it would be dope to be able to come home to somebody again.
It would be.
It would be dope to, like, be around the world, be in China, and be on the phone with somebody.
God. Traveling with your person.
And coming back to them or traveling with them or booking flights here and there. Like, that shit would be fucking fire. Yeah. Like, if that's you, by any chance of God, if you're out there, I'm a king and I'm ready.
Get you as NEB.
However, while I'm single, I've learned to have fun and just enjoy life and be happy with who I am and just, like, learn to accept myself and focus on, like, me. Like, I have to be. It's funny, like, when you was in a long relationship and then I've been out of one for years now. It's been like 8 years. And so I have to teach myself how to be in a relationship with myself so that I can even manifest another relationship sooner than later.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, no, I guess.
Like, I have to teach myself also how to be in a relationship again.
Yeah.
Because I've been single for so long that I only have this delusional view of my first love. And
they set the bar high, huh?
Yeah, it's been set so high that like, I've walked away from probably 300 people.
Okay, killer. All right.
Yeah, like, I attract so many different versions of love.
Yeah.
But it's just a coming and a going.
But you know, well, you see me as an Aquarius who just likes to cut it off and have no problem, like, with the cord cutting. I don't see walking away from people as a bad thing. I see that you avoided 300 situations that aren't for you. That's a lot. I'm
exaggerating with the 300 number, but it has been a large amount of people that I've, like, gotten to know. You maneuver, like, this ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah, you maneuver through love a lot differently because not a lot of people can actually see that, this situation is not for me. I need to move the fuck on from this.
Oh my God.
And so for you to say, like, there's been a lot of times I've had to move on from something. To me, hearing that, it's like, that is beautiful. To have the discernment and knowledge to know, like, I need to step away from this is not a bad thing at all in my mind state.
Man, I've had a few crash outs too. Like,
nah, don't.
Oh my God,
that comes with being single.
Yeah, I've crashed out, big time, big Virgo energy.
One thing on this long list of questioning that I wanted to ask you is a question that I couldn't answer myself, and that's why I wanted to ask my friends and see what they would say. How can men handle love better?
How can men handle? Okay, so to me, since I've been single, I had to think about how I handle friendships, relationships, love. Yeah. Any area of opportunity where I have to express love. And I think that's how you start. Analyze how you love on your brother, how you love on your sister, how you love on your boss, how you love on your auntie, your partner. Look at those. For me, I realized that I was conquering people since my last relationship. And if you see that in yourself, then it's time to do a reality check and maybe talk to a therapist, talk to a counselor, and figure out why you in your life have gotten to the point where you meet people and just want to, like, take them down or make love to them or whatever it is. How you conquer people. Some men want to conquer women mentally. Some men want to conquer women, like, in other ways. And I think, like, making a list of, like, your love language and how are you expressing love to your community, to your tribe, is the first place you start. From there, if you didn't have a relationship with your parents, that's the first place you start. Because everything that you didn't have is going to come up in a relationship. Yes. Relationships are mirrors of yourself.
Yeah.
And so when you choose to be in a relationship from a spiritual perspective, you are choosing to sign up for school to learn about yourself and to be challenged and confronted and dulled and chiseled and healed in aspects that you never expected. Because relationships are, I'm looking at another version of myself through a partner. And I don't know it. I'm just going with the ebbs and flows of life. I think I'm with this beautiful girl or this beautiful guy who is outside of me, but the truth is like we're mirroring each other. Yeah. And we're teaching each other lessons of the soul, because that's what life is about. It's about learning lessons. Everything on this planet is a lesson. This planet has both heaven and hell. This planet has both the fire, the rain, the pain, the war, the love, the beauty of the earth, and the most dangerous, darkest secrets also rely in the earth. They live here with us. Yeah. And we're all going through lessons of the soul. We're all going through lessons of the heart. We're all going through lessons of other lifetimes in this one. And the minute you meet a partner, those are the things that come out. The things that lie buried deep, hidden within you. Your partner will pull them out of you. A good partner will gently, softly caress those things out of you, bring them to the surface, and help you let go of those things to become to become a better person. To be on that new level. A bad partner is going to push you so those things come to the surface, and y'all going to be battling it out over, who got the biggest sword.
Yeah. I will say that is very true. And as somebody that thought that they knew love and then really learned love once I met my person, Milah, one of the things that taught me so much about her was meeting her parents. And that's when I realized, like, I'm not saying that her parents trigger her, but meeting her parents and knowing more about her parents, I can see how certain things come up for her. And then that helped me know how to maneuver through her emotions and through her reactions even better, just from, like, meeting her parents. And it comes, and truly your love does start with your parents, and how that shows up really does come back up in our relationship right now. And even things for me and my parents come up for not only with me and Milah, but with also Luna, and how I react to things. And I've, one, had to check myself, and also, two, had a beautiful partner that was willing to sit there and like help me differentiate what was what and how to maneuver through these things. So yeah, it's really beautiful to hear that because of your upbringing, as far as like the seeing the relationship between your parents basically evolved you into not a person that has a lot of love, but a person that is love itself.
Literally, because there's times when the love is there and times when it's not. Yeah. But me personally, like, I try to like show my brothers love. Yeah. Like, literally, like, I can love people with, like, I don't see anything sexual with my straight brothers and friends, which I have a lot of them. For some reason, it just, I connect to my brothers more.
Child, I understand, because I'm the straight guy that has a lot of gay friends. So
literally. And so, like, anytime they call, I'm near. Yeah. Anytime they need me, you need something move, yo, call me. Because that's who I am. That's how I was raised. That's how I handle relationships. And, like, yo, you going through something, let's talk. Like, it's always that way with me. For me, I think more men need to be more comfortable with that. Yeah. It's almost like showing affection and showing care and showing, like, having a heart for somebody. That is an extension of you. If we're friends, you are an extension of me. Yeah. And so, without going over the next hurdle, I think, that sacred space is reserved for your relationships. Yeah. But, like, your brothers is still love there. And the same thing with your friends. And the same thing with you as a guy, your friends that are girls. You still have to show them love. You can learn to love your partner better by loving on them.
That is 100% true.
Literally.
And we didn't get to touch on this, but I think that the second place where you find love outside of your family is within your friendships.
Absolutely.
And the opposite sex friendships, because I learned from a young age that if I treat my partner the way I treat my homegirls, like minus the sex part, I'm gonna be good because I'm nice to my friends. I love my friends.
Exactly.
And now me and Mila have a relationship where it's like the weeds are intertwined between love, sexual, and our friendship. And that friendship is a very big like trunk and a very big branch within that like weaving. Like Mila and I's friendship matter a lot. And that friendship really is a big driving force in our relationship as a whole.
When I was in a relationship, it was the same. That's what I love about. I see a lot of like y'all situation in what I had, especially because you're from New York, and so friendship was a huge. We was brothers first. We was friends, like to the point where like if we out somewhere and somebody step on somebody's toes, like somebody's head was getting cut off.
Yeah, because I got my brother's back at all points.
And so, I think those nuances are incredibly important to a relationship, and a lot of people lose that. A lot of people be with, like, they form these superficial relationships, or they get in a relationship with somebody for money, or they get in a relationship with somebody for being a trophy this, and like people got all these weird ways that they choose to relate to somebody.
All these weird voids that they have, and they think another person is going to.
It'll never work.
I want to thank you for this. I think of episodes. I think of episodes, of course, but I never really know like how they're gonna end up or what direction they're gonna go. And I always keep my fingers crossed that they're gonna go well. And this today was exceptional. Like truly, I did learn a lot more about you and your like foundation of love, and that in itself really tells me more about you. And I love you even more now.
Yeah, yo, I love you. Like you my dog for life. Like no bull.
I appreciate
and so,
you.
You know what else I respect about you?
Mm-hmm.
You do have a very good comfortability with everybody's scope of sexuality.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I do attract good brothers who don't care about it. Like, I'm fortunate for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I could only imagine if I had a friend who I cared for that would, like, push me away just because I was, you know what I mean, on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And so, I fuck with you for that. Like,
yeah. I realized that a long time ago, one of my gifts in this world is the gift of comfort. It's very easy for me to make people feel comfortable, which is also can be bad because I can easily manipulate people. But that's neither here nor there. Well, another question that I want to ask you, and one of the things that we love to do when on this beautiful love cast is we ask our guests to dedicate some love to somebody, anybody or anything that you like. Is there anybody out there that you like to dedicate some love to?
Would I dedicate love to? That's a good one.
I know. I try my best.
Now that's the one that got me. Who would I like to dedicate love to? It's December 5th. I'm gonna date. I know who I'm gonna dedicate love to. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna dedicate love to my beautiful queen, my sister, my blood sister, Cara Janae Pete. My sister is a queen. She has been my ride or die for years.
Talk to that camera right there and tell your sister how you feel.
When I first started my candle company, which is around the time when Mila and Erica like really started going up, my sister was helping me with it, and like she's been there through every phase. Even though she lives 2,000 miles away from me, it still feels like she's here.
Yeah,
and so yeah, like I love my sister. That's my dog. You know, I speak love and life into her that she manifests a beautiful, powerful king to fill the void of me not being there. And yeah.
Jake, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the love that you exude. I want to thank you. Honestly, I don't even need to thank you for all that great stuff that you have. I want to thank you for just being around. I want to thank you for being there for like when we're grilling, just like being the good, positive energy. And that's really all that you need to be. You just need to be around. I appreciate
it's
you.
funny, like, this year's been rough for a lot of people, bro. Like, this has been the toughest year of my life. Like, professionally, mentally, spiritually, everything. I've transitioned so much. And, like, I had an epiphany today that like every challenge I went through this year was designed to make me stronger, to make me into more of what my soul came here to do.
Yeah.
Which is hustle in fashion. And, you know, during my toughest moments, y'all have been like a woosah, a happy place. A sigh of relief from
thank you.
This business person fucking me over.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker doing this and that.
At least Orlando grilling this weekend.
Yeah, like it just was like, nothing else matters. Let me just go enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Smoke, drink, relax. I don't even drink, but when I'm around y'all, fuck it. Let's go.
Oh man, my brother in love. Thank you so much. Before we get out of here, if you want to like drop any contact where people can find you, like this is your time. Please go ahead.
Oh yeah, if you got any spiritual questions, if you want to talk, if you want some fly clothes, I'm about to put out a line called Sacrament by Jake Preizt. It's coming out in the next 2 months.
Nice.
It's gonna be fire. You're gonna see a lot of red carpet dresses coming from me, coming in 2025, and we here. You can find me at Jake V Preizt, JakePreizt, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Run them numbers up. Make sure you follow me. Send me a message. I'm trying to attract more good people again. Yeah. I'm here in LA. I'm in Tribe. If you see me out speak, I love to. Let's hang out. Let's grab a drink. Whatever.
Listen, my good people. Thank y'all so much. If you want to find out where you can love up on us, on Instagram is Hoochie Mom and Dad. Everywhere you listen or watch us is Love Like This Lovecast. Please leave a like, leave a love, leave a review. Subscribe to everything. It's nothing but love over here. And love y'all. Peace.
I never knew there was a la like this.